A lot of men struggle to keep the flame burning after that successful first date. But not everyone can do it well. Here's the ultimate key to seduction that most guys don't have any clue about. The longer you stick in a girl's mind, the easier it is to get her to fall in love with you. Want to know how to make a girl think about you? To the point where she becomes obsessed with you? And can't help but feel drawn to you emotionally? Here are some tips. Don't text her back straight away. You need to look like you have a separate life and you're busy. As much as it might be really exciting when she texts you, try to distract yourself so that you don't reply straight away. If you're always emailing, texting, and calling her, telling her what you've been up to, you're not giving her space to be curious and be able to imagine about you. How could she then think of you if you're always available? But you don't have to be rude to her. You need not act like you don't care about her either. Don't be boring. Boring kills love. You need to think about how to surprise her. You should forget about the cinema, cafe, or walking in the park. It is boring, every man does it. Think about an extreme date or do something unusual. It might be dancing, karaoke, a zoo, or a small trip. Turn on imagination and she can't forget the date. Don't get too mushy. I know you like her a lot, and there's no problem showing her how you feel. But if you want to know how to make a girl think about you, you'll want to keep your emotions a minor low key in the beginning. Because sometimes this can be seen as looking desperate. So, rather than looking like you're head over heels in love, be a little reserved with your feelings in the beginning. Exploit her insecurity. Make her feel insecure about herself every once in a while. I know, it's not good. But it works. While you want to be seen as loyal to her, you also want her to know that you're in hot demand with other women. Don't underestimate the power of inciting jealousy in a woman. If you can keep her guessing if you're with another woman when you're not with her, then she'll be forced to think about you. This will ensure that she never takes you for granted and will make her work harder to keep your attention on her at the same time. Build mystery while you can. When a woman doesn't know certain things about you, you will appear more mysterious. As soon as she knows those things about you, you immediately revert back to being just an ordinary person. Obviously, eventually, this woman is going to figure out these things about you. After all, if you get into a relationship together, she's going to get to know more and more about you. The key here is to keep her in a sense of mystery about you until she has fallen for you. After that, having a sense of mystery about you is not as important as in the early stages of building attraction in her for you. Don't be negative. If you are constantly moaning, complaining, or trying to start an argument with your woman, she is not going to want to speak to you, and she will definitely not want to be thinking about you. As the old saying goes, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. This rings especially true when talking about texting your woman. Firstly, you shouldn't be negatively speaking to her if you aim to make her think about you and miss you. Nothing will drive her away faster. If you argue with her or complain a lot to her, that is going to be on her phone forever. She's going to be reminded of the fact you were being negative. Try to always stay positive when you text her, or if you have something to complain about, you could say something like, "I'm having a bad day," you would make it so much better. Listen to her when she talks, and later, show her that you listen. This is stupid easy, but many men forget about it and fail to be good listeners. You should remember the little things she talks about. And after a while ask her about it. For example, she might tell you about problems at work. After a week, ask her if she has solved the problem with her boss, and if not, ask if there is anything you can do to help her. Firstly, she will immediately notice that you listened to her and have not forgotten what she is talking about. Secondly, by offering help, you will show her that you are a real man who is not afraid of responsibility. So it's 2 tips in 1. Saying no sometimes. If she's a beautiful, sophisticated woman, she's used to predictable men bending over backward to try and date her, on her terms, whenever she wants. If you can tell her no, now and again, that's going to catch her attention. More importantly, it communicates that she's not your main priority, and that's a good thing at this stage. Even when you go deeper into a relationship, she wants to be the number one person in your life, but not the number one thing. Saying no may only seem counterintuitive at first. But women wish men knew just how thrilling it is to not be a guy's number one priority. It just means he's an interesting guy with lots of things going on in his life. When you do this, she'll see that your time is valuable. Don't be surprised if she makes even more effort than before to try and fit into your schedule. Respect her. This is a very important rule. You might think this is silly because, of course, you respect her. But, it is still shocking how much disrespect women have to deal with on a daily basis from strangers, coworkers, and more. Show her respect. Appreciate her take on things. Listen to her. Don't patronize her or talk down to her. Never assume you know something you don't. This is what it takes for her to think about you when you're not around. She will remember the guy who has always treated her as an equal.